Welcome, my mystic friends. So glad that you are here with me on a Tuesday evening or whatever time it may be for wherever you are at. I would love to hear where you're at, and if you know your sun, moon, and rising. Um, I am taking a collective inhale and exhale with all of this crazy energy that's been going on. We are now through the eclipses, but the energy is still here with us. And we still have Mercury retrograde, so we're still working through all of that. Jupiter has just gone direct today, so there's a lot of, it just feels like a lot of watery energy, just, like being sloshed around in a bowl. So, would love to know, how is everybody doing? I would love to do a check in. Currently, I am in Nevada and going to be here for just in this area for a little bit longer, checking out some of the state parks and also hunkering down during the retrograde, working with the retrograde since I am ruled by Mercury, and looking at now things are going to start opening up to us as to all of the shifts for the last 6 months. If you take a good hard look at yourself and say, where have I been in the last 6 months, and all of the changes that have happened, things are going to start falling into place. It will be the aha moments of, okay, I get it. This had to end. This had to shift. I mean, eclipses, they eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our life. And this energy currently is so eye-opening with the full moons of, I just can't do this anymore. And I have to go into this direction. And this is where I was meant to be. And I'm not sure I'm ready. And I'm not sure I can do this. And it's like we don't even have a choice in the matter, but we do. We do. And so now we have today, let me share with you today's chart and let's talk about this. And let me see who is in the queue also. Hey there, Hugo. Oh, Hugo the cat. Good evening to you, wherever you are at. And Mystic Cindy, so glad that you are here. I have loved every single time I see your name come up in the chat. Bright light, Boo. Guys, you are some of my most favorite people that when I see your name, I recognize it. It literally warms my heart. Yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you. Who else do we have here? Andrea. So happy to catch the live in Pennsylvania. Oh, a Leo sun. Oh, I love a Leo. I'm a Leo sun too. Mine's in the 12th house. Scorpio rising. I love that Scorpio energy here. And yeah, the energy is pretty heavy. Anybody with the water placements, Mercury is going to station retrograde 3 times in 2026, and it does so in themes. And so the first time it's in Pisces right now. And so it's in this harmonious aspect, meaning it's lighting up anything that has to do with water in your chart. And then remember, Mercury rules over 2 areas of your life. So it's kind of like this quick hit of stop, slow down, pause, readjust. And Pisces is the final let go. Pisces is kind of like the water where the water splashes on you and you grab what you can, and whatever is left is what you take with you, and whatever else is gone, it literally washes down the stream. So that's the goal of Mercury retrograde. It's to say stop and pause, readjust, rethink, and get everything in alignment. Get your bearings straight before you move forward. And so let's talk about this. Currently, here's our Mercury retrograde. And so what's happening is we have Mercury and it's going to be bumping into Mars. And I'm going to show you that chart in just a second. And we have just had our Saturn and our Neptune conjunction that happened at 0 degrees in the sign of Aries just a few weeks ago. This was absolutely huge for everybody, as in starting something new that none of us have ever seen in our lifetime, not old enough to see in our lifetime. And so Neptune is our dreams, dissolving what doesn't align, and Saturn stays in a sign for about 3 years, Neptune much longer. And so Saturn says, have a goal, have short, middle, and long-term goals in order to get there. Have a dream. Aries energy is I have to have a dream, and I have to be the one who's responsible for manifesting that dream, making it come true. And so there's just so much that's going on for us. I also want to share, we have Jupiter. Hold on, let me find Jupiter. Jupiter is stationing direct. Whenever a planet stations, it means it was going backwards, and now it's like slowing down and saying, I'm going to go forward here. But it's this pivotal moment of grinding to a halt before it pulls forward, like that little engine. I think I can. And so Jupiter wants to expand again. When it was retrograde, it had all of us doing a lot of internal soul searching about what does home, what does family, what does security. Cancer is the crab. It has the pinchers on it. It's about the security is the home, the shell, and needing that. And so now we're going to have the next 4 months of generating abundance because we've gone within, we've done the work, and now is the time to manifest, make it bigger. Let me show one more chart, and hold on here, make sure I get it all right. Remember, I'm ruled by Mercury, so it's always a hot second for me to double check and triple check before I get it right. I want to talk about this new moon that's going to be coming up. This is something truly to look forward to. The new moon's going to happen on the 18th, but what's going to happen before that? Remember that we have Mercury stationing retrograde, and what else are we going to have? On the 14th, so let me circle a couple of things. We are going to have Mercury conjunct Mars conjunct the North Node. We're going to have all of this energy here. This is going to happen 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. So mark those dates on your calendar. Mercury, our short distance travel, thoughts, ideas, communication. Mars, I want to initiate. I'm the warrior. Rules are head. Rules cut, sever, remove, and it's moving forward. And the North Node is our life path, and it's our direction. And so this energy is coming together, but Mercury is saying, I need you to stop. I need you to look back and say, are you forgetting anything? What do you need in order to move forward with this? Now, when we get to the 18th, on the 18th, this is the actual new moon. And so let me circle a couple of things so it makes sense to you. For those that are new here, I should have started with that. Thank you for showing up here. For those that are new here, my name is Patricia Tate with Willow Grace Astrology, and you can find more about my offerings at my website, willowgracemystik.com. And I would love for you to join me over on Patreon, and my year ahead and my moon guide. Those things are half off. If you the eclipse guide, it's half off if you go to the website. So I believe in teaching you so you understand what is going on, not just so you're not always having to rely on me, but you can tune into your intuition. So new moons are always about fresh starts, clean slate, new beginning. Pisces is watery, it's intuitive, it's the higher octave of connection to divine source. And so setting those intentions, what is supporting this is because the blue lines are ease and grace and the red are difficult. So we have this connection to Uranus. Uranus is known as the great liberator. It's freedom. It is the maverick of the zodiac that says, hey, think outside the box. Let's try this. Let's do this. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is money, our resources, it's our values, it's earth. It's very grounded. It's Taurus energy that can be stubborn and stable. And Uranus says, it's okay. Let's take a risk. Let's try this. Let's do this. At the same time that this new moon opportunity is available, and remember, this is the first new moon that we'll have after eclipses, that we can actually set intentions. During eclipse season, we stop, we pause, we breathe, and we allow the universe to take us where we're supposed to be going, to realign us. The same time this is happening, we have the North Node here, our path, our direction, in a conjunction, merging its energy with Mercury, retrograde. It's running into it, and Mars is sandwiched in between. Looking back, what do I cut? What do I sever? Oh, I want to move forward to my new moon. I want to have these fresh starts, clean slates. I'm ready for it. Like, this is the kind of energy. So imagine that you are right here. You're the new moon. And then Mars is what you initiate, what you want to cut, sever, activate. It's your inner warrior. In the sign of Pisces, it means I can't see it. I have to feel it. I have to embrace it. Mercury in the North Node, it's I do want to move forward. I do want to make sure that I'm aligned. I want to make sure that I am with the right people, places, and things for my destiny. There is a new alignment for me. What does that look like? Uranus? Uranus is here to shake some things up. It says you cannot keep doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Uranus is what says, I'm just going to rip off the bandage. And I always say, like ripping off the bandage on your leg that you didn't shave. And it's like quick, but it's like, oh, looks pretty good. Let's move on. Let's do this. And so all of this energy is going to be happening. It's leading us up to this new moon. So we are in this time period of, many of us have had to pull back, rest, recover, recalibrate, realign, and then we're getting ready to move forward. And so hopefully this will give you something to like look forward to, that all of this work that you're going through, it's for a good reason. All right, so let's dive in. I have some consultations, and I want to look at the people that are in the queue. Joy, yep, Joy, you signed up for a reading. Yes, and you are number one. I'm going to get to you in just one hot second. So, oh, I'm sorry, Joy. Once I receive it, I just add you to the queue, and I just assume that you know. And I'm so sorry about that, but yeah, you are number one. You are here. So you are very welcome. Mouse, I love that. Sun and Venus, North Node in Pisces. Oh, so you just had your nodal return. Taurus ascendant. Okay, I love that. Yeah, there is a lot going on. Hey, Krista. Pisces, Libra rising, New York, New York. Welcome. And let's see, Melissa. You sent you... Okay. I don't know about that, but I'm sure my husband will take care of it. I have a couple people in the queue, and so, hey, lady of the flight, how do you get a reading? Well, like right down below, there is PayPal, and so it's a $40 PayPal donation. You need to include your date, time, location of your birth, and if you don't ask a question, it allows me to just free roam around and tell you what I see. All right, so I'm going to dive in. Let me get started with that. For crying in a bucket. There we go. All right, so my very favorite person who is up is going to be Joy. And again, Joy, thank you. Let's take a look. Joy, and make sure I have everything right. All right, Joy, let's take a look. So you didn't ask a question. I absolutely love that, because that allows me to have free roam around your chart. So Joy, your chart is on the inside. So I don't know how much you know about astrology, but as a Libra rising, you are ruled by Venus. And so your sun is in Taurus, your moon's in Gemini. You are the inner wheel here. The outer wheel is what is going on with you right now. So you just had... Let's talk about this. I always point out what stands out to me first. Saturn and Neptune, I believe it was on, what was the actual conjunction? I want you to pay attention to, I think it was the 20th. Oh, let me check. Okay, Joy, you have a moderate amount. Oh, great. I'm glad you have a moderate amount. Okay, so you know that Saturn and Neptune had this conjunction, and it was in February. And so this was absolutely major for everybody. It was more important for you because it was at 0 degrees and you have your descendant at 0. So it lit up your chart for 4 areas of your chart. Your ascendant is your rising sign. So you are at 0. And your MC is also at 0. So this is called a grand cross. So I'm going to pretend like you don't know as much, because I hate to not tell you, or hate to tell you too much. I don't want to, I don't want to miss out on something. So this conjunction, 0 is the spark, the birth. Let's begin something. Aries is the first breath. It's igniting something. It's a lighted match that comes on. And so what happened was, it's in your partnership sector. If you are Libra, your Libra ascendant right here, this represents everything about you, with your chart ruler being Venus and saying, I need to focus on me, although you're also having a Venus return. Just want to add that in there, that when this happened, you had a brand new chapter that had to do with how you looked at yourself and how you viewed other people, the mirror of. The 7th house is the +1, the best friend, significant other, open enemies, exes. Aries energy says, I have to look out for me. It's not that you're not being fair and equitable. Libra energy has to learn healthy boundaries with the word no, because they can turn into people pleasers. They want to make everybody happy. They want harmony. They want balance. And Aries energy says, I have to make sure that I'm fed before I can do anything else. I have to make sure that the oxygen mask is on me before I take care of anybody else. This energy says, I have to do that in all of my situations, all of my relationships that are going to be with other people. The 7th house also revolves around themes of contracts, negotiations. It's verbal and nonverbal agreements. What adds to this is a square. This is a grand cross. All of these signs are initiatory of different seasons. This is fire, this is water, this is air, and this is earth. So we know that it's squaring something that has to do with your career, your job, your legacy, your reputation, your responsibilities. It's also squaring home, family, foundation, your living situation. Knowing all of this, this energy says that when I change this one area of my life, it lights up everything in your chart. When you learn a lesson, it will be across the 4 major areas of your life: who you are, partnership, job, and home. So it could, squares are hard aspects that say, I will make you uncomfortable so you notice that this area needs a change. Think about it as a splinter. You can only let it fester for so long, and then it becomes infected, and you have to say, I have to get this out. Squares say, I have to deal with this. I have to change. Something has to evolve. Something has to grow. Knowing that, a Venus return in the sign of Aries. Venus likes to bring together. She likes to unite. She likes harmony. She looks over and says, let's make things fair, equitable. That's your chart ruler. In the sign of Aries is, what can I do? It is up to me when these relationships are mirrored back to me. Now, I'm going to throw in one more chart with this so you can look ahead at this. Give me one hot second here, because I want to give you the theme of what are you looking towards, knowing that this is happening. This is going to be your next new moon. So you're going to have a new moon. I'm going to connect all the dots here. So hopefully this 15 and 15. Okay. Oh, 28. Hold on, there's more. Sitting right on top of your sun. Good. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, you got a lot. Okay. Okay, I don't mean to make this all like squiggly like this, but let me break it down. Something that happened in February that lit up you, partnership, career, home, something has to switch, change, grow. The next new moon that's going to happen on the 18th, the new moon is going to happen at 28 degrees. That is so important because your sun is at 28 degrees. It's in a sextile. Sextiles are 2 signs away. It means I have to work a little bit for it, but it's going to be easier for me than for other people. Uranus is sitting right on top of it and saying, oh my gosh, I have to think outside the box. I cannot do the same thing that I have done repeatedly. This is your 8th house of shared resources: debt, alimony, child support, fears, control, sex, who has the power, who does not have the power, finding a harmony, finding balance within this. I, Joy, need to set a new moon intention for balance with where I give my energy, who I support. The sixth house is your daily habits. It's your mental, physical, spiritual, your health, your well-being. What's adding to this is a Venus return and a Mars return. Venus return we already spoke about. The Mars return is a 2-year cycle of you starting something now, and what is seeded right now will manifest over the next 2 years. So the sixth house, again, has to do with pets, has to do with a counselor, a mentor, finding somebody to support you. It's you and your daily life, alternative healthcare, healing practices and modalities, and finding that balance, not over giving, looking at reciprocity here. Adding in Mercury retrograde, conjunct the North Node, looking back at your past, and having to acknowledge, where has this been my fault? I can't blame anybody else. Where is this my responsibility? And can I learn from this lesson? Because when the lesson is learned, you don't have to learn it anymore. The North Node is, I choose my direction, and I can choose the harmony, the peace, because this has been going on for like the last year, and you have 6 months left of the nodal energy of Pisces and Virgo. And the negative side effect is people pleasing. Pisces wants to blend and have peace and harmony, but the sixth house says there has to be reciprocity here. And boundaries come in many different forms. It can be physical and it can also be emotional. And so I'm hoping that you truly embrace this time period, because this is a pivotal time for what sets you up for the next several years to come. So Joy, thank you. Thank you for trusting me and for being part of this community. And keep me posted on everything that's going on with you. I'm excited for you. All right, let me see. Ellen, let's talk about you, my friend. All right, Ellen, I'm going to just start off with the new moon because I want to dive into this with you. And then I'm going to, let me look in the queue real quick to make sure everything makes sense. Joy, moderate amount of knowledge, good. Oh, hey, Honey York, glad you're in the queue. Gibson, Saggy Rising, love that energy. Joy, I've been brought up to my attention, but okay, good. Okay, I'm glad everything is on point. Challenge with, let's see. Okay, Joy, yep, your son. Wow. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk. So, Ellen, I know, okay, I did get both of your emails. So I want to talk about where you are, what happened, and the importance of. And I know that you have a moderate amount of knowledge about astrology. So I'm going to circle several things and bring it to your attention. Back in February, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction happened with you, and it was in your 9th house. The 9th house is foreign people, places, and things, taking a class, taking a workshop, travel, expanding your mind, legal things, cross-cultural experiences where you get to broaden your horizons. This planted a seed, and it was sitting right on top your North Node, your direction in life. It's very close to your Chiron wound of, how do I overcome this? These are some fears. Whenever anything involves the Chiron wound, and your wound, we've talked about it before, of it's happening at a very early age, like childhood, that every single time it's activated, it gives you an opportunity to grow, change, and heal and evolve and move into the person. The Aries energy says, I can't have anybody else be in charge of my evolution. I have to be my own warrior. I am a goddess. I can do this. I am going to be in charge of this. What opposes it is Jupiter conjunct the South Node, 3rd house of communication. This is your throat chakra. It's your voice, and it expands. I'm also going to add in that Uranus is here. This is a lot of opposition. The opportunities of this opposition is Uranus says unique, it's technology, it is email, phone, text, it's non-traditional. So we know that you're going to be shifting, pivoting something that is non-traditional for you. Knowing that, that is what was seeded. Adding to that, now you're going to have this new moon. I know you talked about a new job. I think the new job might have something. I mean, I definitely see the new job. Absolutely. This is about a total shift. Uh, Let me tell you why. This is, let me connect it here so you can see it. Uranus is this, it's the Hail Mary that comes out here with your 10th house. It was, I didn't think about this. Let's shift, let's pivot, let's change. Uranus is the maverick. It is the one that questions everything and says, well, if not this, then why not this? Uranus comes in and says, let's throw everything on the table, and it's like a MacGyver. What can I make with the pieces of things that I have? It's at 20 degrees. Having this new moon in your 8th house in a harmonious aspect to Uranus in your 10th house is a quick shift and pivot with your job, with your career, with your reputation, with your legacy, and all of your responsibilities. Things will come quick, hard, fast, and it will be, oh, it's sitting on top of your lot. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. Your lot of fortune, or lot of spirit, sorry. So I absolutely love all of this for you. What it sits across from is Neptune. Neptune is in your 4th house. This could be dissolving, removing. This might mean something that has to do with your home. Doing something to your home, leaving something within your home. I know that you didn't ask that question. I'm just throwing it out there because this creates the opposition of what do I have to think about if I do this. What I want to add in here is you're going to have Mercury conjunct the South Node. Mercury says, I want you to look back. Where have I invested? Who's had the power? Where's the control? These are some of my fears. And the 8th house is birth, death, and rebirth. I can recreate myself. I can dig deep in, I can transform. As a Leo, your voice needs to be heard. And how are you going to manifest that? It's, I have to overcome my own fears. I have to get out of my own way. And I can do this. And I might have to stretch myself with this energy here. This might mean like taking a class, teaching a class, traveling somewhere, studying something in order to stay up on everything that's happening. I love all of this for you because this is the transition of the new beginning for you, the new beginning. And this energy here is planting the seed for the new job as it happens. And this is what I can do to invest it in my future. The 8th house is investments, debt. It's where we, you look at your paycheck and say, what do I want to save for in the long run? And also, the 8th house is taboo topics. And so not being afraid to have those conversations and to ask what your worth is. Know your value, know your worth. All right, Ellen, I am hoping that if this answers like both of those questions that you asked for. All right, I'm going to check in the queue, make sure that all of this is resonating with you, and I'm going to do a quick round to make sure that all of this makes sense. I'm also going to bring in one more thing for you. Jupiter is going to be moving direct. I want you to pay attention to what happens today and tomorrow and for the next 4 months, because Jupiter in your 12th house is, I can get rid of the broken record that's in my head, those fears, because when Jupiter goes into Leo, this is literally the I'm coming out and this is my season. Hear me roar. When Jupiter goes into Leo, it'll be there for 13 months. And so that'll be your season. All right. I appreciate you being here, Ellen. And let me see who is next in the queue. I appreciate you all being here. And, okay, Cherry, thank you. And it just takes me a hot second. I like to check, double check, and triple check so I don't make mistakes, especially during Mercury retrograde. Oh, hallelujah. Okay, Cherry. Glad that everything works. Alrighty. Cherry, I'm going to start with the new moon and talking about where we are right now and leading up to this new moon. Okay, as a Libra rising, you know that you are ruled by the planet of Venus. And just a little heads up, Cherry, Venus is going to retrograde later this fall. So know that things that are planted, things that are seeded right now, they are going to manifest, grow, evolve. And then this fall, when Venus stations retrograde, it will be, I will go back over some of those same themes and rethink, revise, and reevaluate in order to make them better. That being said, here we are. You had Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees in your partnership sector. This opened up a whole new opportunity for you to look at what do you bring to the table, how do you learn from others. This is contracts, this is clients, this is best friends, this is partnerships, this is personal, professional, and collaborative. I would also add in open enemies and exes, because this is also where you learn your lessons. Neptune dissolves. Neptune is also about my dreams. Saturn has these rings around it. So think about the fence around your yard and you needing to have an energetic or a physical boundary around you and other people. And so you are starting this journey on how do you learn, what lessons do you learn, your interactions between different types of people in your life. Like a best friend, you're going to learn lessons. A partner, a client, somebody that you sign a contract with or negotiate with. Those are 7th house themes. What's going to add to this? Energy is definitely jealous and office politics. Oh gosh, I know. Sure, I finished the interview last weekend, waiting for job results. All right, let's talk about where you're going with this new moon. And okay, I'm going to get rid of this because I want to talk about this energy. All right, so you are you're going to have this brand new moon. Now, the new moon's not going to occur until the 17th, but what is going to happen first is this planet here is, oh, crying out loud, sorry. You are every single planet and the energy of it. So let me tell you a story about you. Here you are, Cherry. You are Mars. This warrior, this goddess who is moving forward. But first, you have to encounter your past. The 6th house has to deal with your daily habits, your health, your well-being, your physical. It's the services that you give to other people, how you support other people. Is there reciprocity? This is the energetic exchanges. Are you being supported? Mars is you saying, I have to call this person out, or I might be called out for the energy that I cannot give for this. I have to let this go because I don't have the energy to sustain it, or I want more from this. I have to be able to speak it into existence. Now, Mars is in between this new moon because we have Mars moving forward and it's going to come into contact with Mercury. Mercury is email, phone, text, the way that you communicate. It's retrograde, saying, I need to go back at things that have happened over the past several weeks. And the North Node says, but this is the direction I need to move in. And Mercury says, you can't move forward until you get this area of your life right. And so this is, what does your day-to-day habits look like? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you always of service to other people? Are you organizing your life according to what is sustainable for your mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being? The new moon that will occur on the 18th, the 17th, the new moon that will occur on this time period is I need to plant seeds for a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. This is the first time that you've been able to do anything for the last couple months, because we've had all of these eclipses shifting people, places, and things in your life. And so this is going to be the first time where you can say, no, I'm in charge of this. And what does this look like? Now, Uranus. Uranus wants freedom, liberation. It wants, it can bring, like, Uranus is a lightning bolt. It's electric. It's shock and surprise. It's in your eighth house. The eighth house is taboo topics. Like, ooh, we don't discuss that. Or it's the house of hidden secrets. This could be with family members. This can be with exes, partners. This is the house of debt and taxes. This is the house of don't rock the boat. And Uranus is saying, nope, it's time. Let's bring this to the surface. This is about power and control and fear and you getting a handle on things and owning it and saying, I need to be moving forward and owning my life path, my direction. And what does that look like? That means ripping that Band-Aid off. And so starting, planting this new seed of, I'm going to focus on my health and I'm going to balance my life work better. Now, the North Node and Mercury is saying, I'm going to have to look back at my past to say what stays, what goes. And Mars is the one that's in between both of this, saying, I am the one. Mars is the one with a sword, a machete that says, this is heavyweight, this is dead weight, gotta cut it, can't carry it on. And so you will be making those difficult decisions. Not a bad thing. What is supporting this is you're having a nodal return. Nodal return, they happen once every, nodal returns are when life comes at you and says, you're off track. Let me adjust you right here. Like we're looking at you and your life path. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. And I'm excited about you, Cherry. Set those intentions, my friend, and make the magic happen, because this does have to do, you're going to be adding in career themes over the next 4 months. Things are going to start moving forward quickly. All right, Cherry, thank you so much for being here. Let me see who is next in the queue. Oh, goodness. Okay. Alyssa. Okay, Alyssa, thank you for being here. Alyssa, first off, thank you for crying on a bucket. I put the wrong line. Sorry. Alyssa, thank you for being here and sharing and trusting me. I always want to tell everybody, I believe that your birth information is sacred, and for somebody to be able to trust you is nothing. I don't take it lightly, and so thank you. All right, where are we? Grove Village. Okay. Grove, hold on. Oh no. Okay. Did I spell it right? Yep. Let's see here. All right. Contract resigning hasn't come yet, but I know it's in the near future. What can I expect for this? And next month for work. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this, Alyssa. All right. Alyssa. Oh, Aquarius rising. Pluto in your, okay. Pluto in your first house for the next 20 years of all kinds of transformation happening for you. And I know that you said that there was a contract. I'm not sure what type of a contract, but with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your third house, this has to do with things that are within close proximity. It's all types of conversation, email, phone, text. It's what you do within your close community. It's with Mercury retrograde, it's there's slowness in the communication, And I believe that things are going to happen, and they're going to be speeding up here really quick. You are having okay, hold on. I'm going to bring this in here. You are having a Uranus trine Uranus. I color code my charts. So green is earth and earth. So we know that Uranus in your 12th house is your fears, it's karma, it's releasing of and thinking outside the box. In your 4th house, releasing, this is probably traditions, ancestral, home, family. Having Uranus here at the same time, I'm going to circle some more things, and hopefully this does not confuse you. I'm going to circle several things. And then I'm going to put together the story so you can understand it. When you have this new moon that's going to be coming up, what happens before that is Mars. Mars is in your 2nd house that has to do with your money, your cash, your talents, your property, your resources, your skill set of what does Alyssa need in order to feel safe. First, it bumps into Mercury. Mercury's retrograde. So this will happen on, hold on, let me get you the dates for that. The 14th through the 17th. So Mars bumping into Mercury is you might be renegotiating, reevaluating, realigning, readjusting, and looking at like some type of a negotiation. Mercury rules over your 5th house, and it rules over your 8th house of investments and taboo topics, like this is uncomfortable for me. Having said that, on the 18th, you're going to have a new moon. Now the new moon is, and now I can plant these seeds. This will be the first time since eclipse season where you can say, a new beginning, a fresh start, a clean slate with what is mine, my resources. What do I want moving forward? It's in a harmonious aspect to Uranus. This is what I can do with this at my home. Do you want to move? Do you want to spruce up your home? Do you want to, there's something that's going on with your home sector. This is in a trine. So let me draw some lines here. This is a sextile here, but it's a trine here, meaning all of this is working together with a focal point on if I just have enough, and if it is aligned with the direction in which I want to go to. The 12th house is the house of secrets, and it's the house of isolation. It's the house of where I go to journal and to meditate and to release myself of these fears that I have. It's also where I receive those downloads, those messages, those dreams, those intuitive thoughts. And so pay attention to anything that comes up as synchronicity. That means from your ancestors, your guides, coins, symbols, music, any of those themes. We know that you are planting seeds right now. Mars is the warrior. That's you standing in between this and saying, I have to ask for what I have to know, my value, know my worth. And if that means renegotiating, if that means talking about this, if that means bringing it up, if that means laying all my bills out, that's what I'm going to have to do. That being said, when you have this new moon, Mars is going to look at the Mercury and the North Node, saying that you cannot put your bills, your personal resources, you can't put that into the hands of somebody else to handle. You have to take ownership of it. You cannot say, well, you can't, this has to be you owning it, like literally educating yourself on it. Mercury says, I cannot lose control over this. I have to know what to ask for. I have to know the right questions. I have to look at the past and say, what didn't I do before and what can I do better in the future? The North Node says, focus on me, my security. At the same time, Mars is going to say, this is the place. This is what I want. This is what I want to bring in. Now, we're going to have Jupiter in your 6th house, and it's sitting on top of, oh, for crying out loud. It's going to be sitting on top of your moon. Jupiter's moving direct. It'll be moving direct tonight, and in your 6th house is the balance between my home and my career. And the 6th house is your mind, body, spirit. Having a Cancer moon makes you very intuitive. paying attention to dreams, synchronicity, the ancestral knowledge. It's the connection to Jupiter moving direct. You will receive those downloads. You just have to believe it and know that you need to follow where that direction is. All right, Alyssa, I am hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm going to take a quick look in the queue. Hey, Bright Light Becca Boo. Hello, Kelly. Make a definite hot chocolate while you wait. All right. Hey, Eva. Glad you're here. All right. Well, Alyssa, I am hoping all of this makes sense to you. And let me look at next. Who is next? And I greatly appreciate you trusting me. And I am sending you best of luck. This is, first off, it's like your birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, my friend. Okay, I'm going to add one more thing. When it's your birthday and this energy is happening, it's a solar return. And it infuses your, not just the day, but it infuses your year ahead with the energy of what's going on at that time. So I'm sending you all kinds of birthday blessings and amazing energy as you navigate forward. Thanks, Alyssa. I'm so excited. Like, what an amazing time to be alive. Hey, I'm Melissa. Thank you for being here. Okay. Let me make sure I got all of this correct. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, it's asking me for, it says Victoria, Australia, as in Victoria Park? Okay. All right, Melissa, what is coming up from my career? Okay, Melissa, let's talk about this. All right, Melissa. So your chart is the wheel that is on the inside, and the outside wheel is what is going on right now. So I want to go back so I can move forward, and I want to start with things that happened in February to talk about things that are in March, if that makes sense to you. So in February, on the 20th, we had a Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees. This was extremely pivotal because it's a once-in-a-lifetime transit, not only for us individually, but for as a collective where we are with people. This is important for you because this is in your 11th house of your dreams, your goals, and the collective. The 11th house is not just who you mix and mingle with. Like, this can be in person or it can be digitally, but this is also clubs, organizations, groups, networks. It can be work associates that you are on, like groups with, but it's also, where do I volunteer my time in order to be part of something that is bigger? Neptune came here first, and Neptune is, this is what I dream. Aries is I, you. I, Melissa, this is what I want to do. I want to be part of something that's bigger. I want to find my tribe. I want to find my community, my network, the collective. And Saturn says, in order to do this, we have to have an end goal in mind. Because Neptune is all watery, and Saturn says we have to have some boundaries on this. Let's set some goals. Let's have the end in sight, but have short, middle, and long-term goals in order to get there. Now, the 11th house, it brings up themes that have to do with volunteering experiences, you supporting others, but also, what do you dream? What do you want to do? This is what I want for my personal future and how I'm going to do this. Now, there was something that was planted, something that was seeded. as we move forward, okay, now I want to talk about as we move forward. So I'm going to switch the chart. Let me transition out of this and pull up the new moon that's going to be coming up, and then I will add to the story. Lisa and new moon. Understanding that, I want to talk about, okay, I got to trim my hair here. It's getting in my face. Understanding that we're going to have over, let's see, the 14th through the 17th. From the 14th to the 17th, let's pay attention to Mars here. Mars is important because it's the ruler of Aries. So from the 14th to the 17th, you have Mars at the highest point. The 10th house is your job, your career, reputation, legacy, responsibilities, you being an authority figure seeing you. This is a pivotal time for your job, your career. Now, you've had the North Node here and the South Node here for the past year, meaning it has probably meant a job change and a home change, or something within your home or something within your career. With that's happening, Mars is going to come into contact with the North Node and Mercury. Mercury is your chart ruler. It rules over not only who you are, but also your home, your family, your foundation, your traditions. Whenever Mercury stations retrograde, you feel it within your business card, your website, how you see yourself. It's like, I need to rebrand myself, or it's you rethinking about yourself, and then what does that look like at home? Now, Mercury and Mars says, I have to take the initiative. I have to cut, sever, remove. I have to make this happen for your reputation, your job, your career. The North Node says, let's look back at the past of the last 6 months. What has happened and what direction are we going? Pisces means I need to be connected spiritually to what I'm doing. I just cannot do this job anymore. I cannot be in this relationship anymore. It has to make sense. And so that happening, you're going to have this new moon. The new moon will happen on the 18th, March 18th. So this new moon is important because you will be, I would encourage you to plant seeds of, or intentions of, I, Melissa, this is what I want for my job. This is where I want to go. This is what I want it to look like. This is what my intentions are. What is opposing it is Uranus. Whatever you do is going to shift and rock something that has to do with home. If it has something to do with a job, does that mean that the responsibilities at home shift? Most likely. Does this mean like a move or something at home? Absolutely, it can bring that up. Uranus represents, I have to think outside the box. I have to be a maverick with this. This is non-traditional. This is this could be science and technology and AI. The same time that this is happening, you're having Uranus is in your 12th house. Okay, I'm going to connect these with lines because these later degrees are so important. This is in a harmonious aspect here that says, but I can, when I heal myself, I heal my past generations, I heal my inner child, and I heal my future. The 12th house brings up our angels and our guides and our intuition, and Uranus has been in your 12th house for the last almost 8 years, and it has said, are you tuning in to your talents? Are you isolating yourself when it gets too much and focusing on self-care? Because self-care is not just a luxury. The 12th house is where we say, I have to tune out in order to tune in, because I can only people so much. And self-care it's not a luxury. It's what you have to have in order to do well, to heal. It's being aligned with your mind, your body, your spirit. That being said, you are having a Uranus trine Uranus. Remember, my charts are color-coded. So this is green, earth sign, and this is green, earth sign. So we know that everything that's happening at home, this also has to do with something with your past, your parents, your grandparents, something that has to do with your home, with genealogy, traditions, your living situation, people that are within your home, um, transforming all those themes. And so, yeah, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Looking around here, oh, okay, and one more thing. Jupiter, I'm hoping that this doesn't get convoluted. Jupiter is now stationing direct and will be moving forward. When Jupiter moves into the sign of Leo, and that will be, I believe it's June 30th. On June 30th, you are going to be having a Jupiter return. This happens once every 12 years, and so hallelujah to that. All right, Melissa, sending you blessings. I just know that there's going to be these great changes that are going to be available to you. So thank you. Thank you for trusting me and being here. And yeah, big shifts, big changes. All right. Oh, honey, York. Oh, friend. Hold on. All right. I know I have it here, but I'm just going to put in your information. Mother. There we go. So sorry. Cornwall. Here. All right. I think I got. Okay, so you said update on romantic relationships. Yep. Started spending time with an older friend. Was it before Mercury retrograde? Scorpio man. Look, I love Scorpio energy, but ooh, he has physical limitations, so I'm not sure. I totally get that. I totally get that. Okay, honey York, let's talk about this. Let me move this. Okay, view. I'm going to move it up to the new moon as to where we are now because all right, honey York. You know, well, okay, you don't know. Sorry. February 20th, you had Saturn and Neptune form this huge conjunction at 0 degrees. This is very important to you because your descendant is at 0. So be interesting to know, like, when you met this person. Okay, so you see, I've had a crush for a few years, but he's older and he needs canes. Is that a like a red flag? Because you know, canes. I don't know. Is that a deal breaker for you? Because I don't see that as a deal breaker. Neptune is, what do I dream? This is like, make my heart flutter. It's in your partnership sector. It brings you to it. Neptune energy is a soul connection, like a soul tie. Saturn is limitations. Saturn is boundaries. What does that look like for you? If you're comfortable with those boundaries, then this is, how do I make this happen? Because it's sitting squarely on top of your descendant, it opposes who you are. You having to sit back with it and say, I have to take a serious look at this, you know. Okay, so let me look. Hello. Have you had a crush on him? He's older. Okay. He sings beautifully. Okay. Okay, so let's dive into this and say that if you feel that this person is a soul connection, because Neptune brings in what you dream, and Saturn says, and those dreams need to have some type of limitation. Like, we have to have like some type of a checklist. And what does that checklist look like for you? And are you willing to live within those boundaries? Then this could absolutely be the next step, because 0 is the activation point. It's the zero, the birthing something that is absolutely brand new. Aries energy is, I will take the lead. I can make this happen. It is fire. It's a spark that's within you that you just have to fan it a little bit, and then it catches the flame and takes off. That being said, you're going to be having a Venus return. I love a Venus return because Venus is the goddess of love and beauty and money and resources, things that we value. Venus likes quality over quantity. And so this is you taking a good hard look and saying, what do I value within each of these partnerships and relationships? The seventh house is best friend, significant other, personal, professional, collaborative. So this is not just going to be about this one person in your life. This is going to be an activation of, what does this look like in all of my relationships and my partnerships with this person? So this will be you taking a good strong look at this and saying, what does this look like going forward? Am I willing to adapt to this? Am I willing to adjust to this? Those things are not deal breakers for me, but I don't know if it's a deal breaker for you. That being said, let's move it forward and talk about, I'm going to get rid of this. So, okay, I'm going to circle a lot of things here, and then I want to put it together. All right. So let's just talk about Mars here. Mars rules your partnership sector. Okay, Mars rules the other people in your life. And Mars, from the 14th to the 17th, Mars is moving forward, but it's first going to go, it's going to bump into Mercury. Mercury's retrograde. Oh, I have to rethink this. I have to reevaluate this. I have to redo this. I have to realign. I have to readjust. What does readjustment look like? It'll also have you looking back at things, your relationships of your past. The sixth house is your day-to-day habits. What does this do to your everyday habits? The balancing of home and career, the balancing of your energy that you give to others, and alternative healthcare healing practices and modalities. What does that look like for you? And the North Node is, I first have to focus on myself, and then who is in my life? What does that alignment look like? Now, at the time of the new moon, so just like a few days later, on the 18th, we're now going to have Mars sitting right in the middle, looking at the new moon right here. New moons are times that we plant the seeds for a clean slate, new beginning. I like this one because this is the first time since eclipse season that we can actually use this energy, because eclipses, they pick us up and they move us, but we don't manifest during them. We allow the universe to do that for us. So the universe has brought you this person, and now you have to say, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. This dream, what parts of the dream are real, what parts of the dream are manageable. The sixth house is, how can I accommodate this in a healthy way that this becomes a daily habit for me? I need to focus on what I give to myself and nurturing and caring, and Pisces energy is just, I want to be at one. I want this connection. It's a heartfelt connection. Mars is also looking at the Mercury Mercury North Node conjunction, and Mercury is saying, well, let's look back. Let's look back at our past relationships. Let's look back at the past. What does the past say? The past say about where I've been, and where do I want to go, and what does this look like with this person? Can I imagine it? And the North Node said, if I can imagine it, I can make anything happen. Now, it's in a harmonious aspect with, oh, fudge. So sorry. Let me get rid of this. Glad I didn't drop the bad word. It's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. Uranus says, I have to think differently. I have to think. Uranus is the maverick. It's in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of deep connections with people. It's wanting to have that deep bonding with somebody, but it's also taboo topics. How do I broach that topic? What does that topic even look like? Okay, well, let's talk about this. Mars is here. Mars is sitting on top of Uranus. Mars, again, rules your partnership sector. This is you saying, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to, and if this, you said this person was a Scorpio, Mars and Pluto are their chart rulers. they're not afraid of deep anything. They're not afraid of having these deep connections. And so don't be afraid yourself. This is you saying, can I fall? Will you protect me? Is this safe? What does this look like? And the north, you have your north node in your 8th house. This is the house of sex. It's the house of deep connections. It's the house of birth, death, and rebirth, and the transformation of what does this connection look like. And it's going to be different, and it's going to be unusual, and it's going to be okay as long as that's what you want. I want to add to this that you're having a Jupiter return. We've talked about this. I believe that we talked about this in a past reading. Mercury was retrograde. Well, first off, you had your Jupiter return with you being seen, authority figures, job, career, reputation, legacy, and responsibilities. Jupiter went retrograde, having you think about your home, your family, your responsibilities. Now Jupiter is going to be moving direct. Jupiter moving direct in your house of your 10th house. Things will start to free up and move a lot faster. And so I'm excited for you. I hope you stay in touch with me. And let me see. Let's see. I don't know. We need to spend time together in different areas. Going out into the world. I agree with you. Let's see, honey. Bad words are good. Hence the name Grace. So I say it with grace because, girlfriend, you know, sometimes I can drop those words faster than, and not everybody is reciprocal for it. All right, honey York, I am sending you all kinds of blessings for this. I would look at this as, why were they put into your path? And I would explore this. Having Saturn and Neptune here, this brings you abundance for something that you've never done before. None of us have ever had Saturn and Neptune in our lives. We haven't lived long enough for this. And so I'm hoping all of this makes sense. All right, honey York, sending you hugs. All right, let me see who is next in the queue. And I want to thank you all for being patient and being here. All right. Hey, Kira. Thank you for being here. Give me just a hot second. First, I want to say thank you for trusting me. I believe that our birth information is sacred. And hold on. And I appreciate all of you for trusting me with that. All right. Oh, thank you for your kind words. Okay, whatever I see is fine. I love that because that allows me to zip around your chart. All right, let's see here. I'm going to do it as a bi-wheel, and I'm just going to dive right in. All right, Kira, let's have a little looky-loo at you. All right. You're a Gemini rising. Yeah, how are things going right now with this Mercury retrograde? I'm also ruled by Mercury. So know that as a Gemini, okay, you are the inner wheel here. Know that as a Gemini, your mind, your thoughts, your ideas, it's ruled by Mercury. Okay. And so every single time, 3 to 4 times a year, it stations retrograde. And when it does, it messes with who you are and it messes with your home. If you learn to work with it, you say, all right, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to pause. I might change my hair, my wardrobe. Like I know this last time I took some scissors to my hair. And so obviously I need to like fix it or get to a place where I can have someone else fix it. But like Mercury retrograde, it rules over who you are. Like you're looking at yourself, and the first house is your business card, your website, it's your identity, and saying, what do I need? What needs to be updated in my life? Okay. Not that you needed to know that, but you know, I'm throwing that in there because you just said I can do anything. And also happy birthday. I appreciate you being here. So let's take a look. I want to start off with February 20th. You had this 0 activation of Saturn and Neptune in your 11th house. What are Kira's goals? Who is she connected with? Your alignments. That means digitally online and people that you work with, hopes, wishes, dreams, goals. All of these things are right here. Kira has to initiate them. You have to say, this group, it no longer resonates with me. I'm going to leave this. And these are electronic groups and in person. This is, how do I climb the ladder also? And who is my tribe? And who am I connected with? Knowing that, this started a brand new everything for you, because it's at the 0 degrees. It was saying, let's start something that we've never done before. Now, adding to that, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to start with Mars. Mars rules over this area of your life, your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. Mars on the 14th through the 17th. So like, what is that? That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then you're going to have the new moon. So Mars says, oh, I want to make this stuff happen. I'm going to go after this. I'm going to cut. I'm going to sever. I don't need this. This is dead weight. Let's move forward. Mars has to cross through Mercury retrograde and the North Node. Mercury is you, your home. Mercury represents contracts, negotiations, email, phone, text. It's in your 10th house. The 10th house is the highest part of your chart. Your job, your career, your reputation, your responsibilities. This is like all kinds of screw ups, and I have to slow down. And which direction am I going in? And why didn't the email go through? And why doesn't that person understand that? And why am I responsible for this? There's like all of these things coming up. Knowing that, Mars says, I need to focus on my direction. Mercury, when it crosses Mercury, Mercury says, stop. Let's look back at our past. Let's look at what we have done in the past. What do I want to do for the future? Having your North Node in Pisces and your South Node in Virgo, it means like starting a year ago that you could have had a move and you could have had a shift or a job or a career change. And you still have 6 months in order to make this happen. The nodes occurring in this area of your life, this often means that during this time period, you say, I can't do this anymore. I have to do this, or I want to climb the ladder, or I'm ready to leave this. Mars at the new moon, which will happen on the 18th, Mars is going to look at two things. Mars is going to say, it's time to plant these new seeds, fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. This is what I want for my job. This is what I want for responsibilities. This is what I want to leave for a legacy. This is my career, my legacy. This is you claiming it. Pisces is watery and flowy and like the higher octave of connection and doing good work. At the same time, Mars is looking at the North Node in Mercury, and Mercury's still going to be retrograde, saying, before we can move forward, you still have to consider finishing some things from the past. Okay, you can do that. It's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your 12th house. Uranus is a lightning bolt. It can be chaotic. It can be shocking and surprising and revelation. In your 12th house, it means dreams, intuition, psychic ability, astral travel, astral projection. It also can mean I have so much going on the outside. I have to stop and pause and pull myself inward. I have to take time out from peopling in order to feel in, sink in, and align my mind, my body, my spirit for healing. Because if I don't, I lose my direction. And Uranus says, how do I do that? I need to be creative with this. Does this mean earthing and grounding and just like getting away from everybody? Or does it mean a retreat? Does it mean yoga, meditation? What does that mean for you? This new moon, I would be somewhere near water, or definitely be taking like a nice Epsom salt bath or something. And I would be sinking in and setting my intentions for, what do you want? the next chapter of your life to look like, because everything that's happened in the last 6 months, there have been a lot of endings, there's been a lot of like reviewing and rethinking and picking up and shifting and changing, that this begins the new chapter of what do you want. And then when Uranus moves into your first house, and it's going to happen soon, like in the next few weeks, this is when all cylinders spark at the same time, and it's quick, it's electric. Uranus is like an electrical current. Remember, it's like a lightning bolt. And when it goes into Gemini, Gemini is air, ideas, thoughts, ideas. When it goes into your first house, it like it sets off things where people will be able to see you. It is duality. And so there's so many great things that can happen from this, but it also means a busy mind. And so this is the calm before the storm, that you are able to align and say, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to look at where I've come from and say, this is what I want. And know that Uranus is a wild card. You never get what you can never say that this is what you're going to get from Uranus. Uranus says, go ahead and ask for it. And I'm going to give you something that's close to it, but this is better for you. It's kind of like ordering something and then they're out of that dessert and then they bring you something that's better. That's what Uranus is going to be giving you. All right, Kira, I hope all of this makes sense. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to check the queue and see how things are. And thank you. Thank you, Kira, for trusting me with your consultation. All right, let me see here. Let me get my next one up. Hey, oh, Becca Boo. Becca Boo, I love you. I always say that. I know that's kind of crazy. I shouldn't say it out loud. I'm so sorry. But every time I see your name, I always say, Becca Boo, I love you. I know it rhymes. It's kind of crazy. All right, I hope I don't embarrass you. I can be kind of goofy. I laugh at my own jokes because I don't get jokes. 1976. Let me put your information in here. All right. Let's see. St. Louis, Missouri. I know my husband always says to me, you know, inside thoughts, use a filter. And sometimes I just cannot. All right. Let's see. Free range. I love that. You've actually. Oh, I'm so glad you've been feeling really good. I love to dive into past lives. So thank you for bringing that up, Becca Boo. So past lives, I am a traditional Western and evolutionary astrologer. And so that means I look at what is going on now with you, and then I look at where we can move forward. But in order to move forward, you have to understand your past. And so that's understanding our past lives, if you're comfortable discussing that. If you're not, you can always think about it as past generational, like parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, of traditions that have been passed down. So yeah, one of my favorite things to discuss and dive into, because I really find it truly revealing. All right. Oh, I love you too. I hurt you. All right. So, okay. So sorry. I'm back on track. All right, Becca Boo. Let's see here. All right. I want to go back to, oh my gosh, that's right. Your birthday was February 20th. All right, Becca Boo. On February 20th. Okay. Let me get my head on straight. Enough with the giggling. On February 20th, you had your birthday. This started a new solar year for you. And when we have a solar return where the sun comes back to the beginning, it also imprints the year with the energy that's manifested on that day. That's why solar returns are just so important, because first we look at the age and what perfected house you're working with, and then we say, where are you going and what's going to happen to you. The fact that you had Saturn and Neptune meeting at 0. Okay, I'm going to put this into perspective for you. Your sun is your identity in the sign of Pisces, very watery, intuitive, psychic. The sun cannot see the house that comes to the left and to the right of it. You cannot, it's like your blind spot. So we know that the Saturn Neptune conjunction that happened in your ninth house, this is higher learning, cross-cultural experiences, studying, traveling, going places, expanding your mind, expanding your horizons. This energy happening on that same day was, it was caught in your blind spot. Like, other people will see the growth before you will see it within yourself. That doesn't mean that you're not going to embrace it. For example, okay, my sun is in my 12th house. I don't see things coming at me. I have to be able to feel into it. You have a sun in Pisces. Think of it as, you won't be able to see it. You're going to have to close your eyes and say, what does the energy, what does the vibration, what does the water currents, what do I feel? And move with that. I'm hoping that that makes sense to you. Knowing that Neptune is the ruler of, and Neptune is, this is what I dream of. I want to go here. I want to see this. I want to experience this. I want this energy. I want this vibration. I want my community. Saturn says, really? You want that? Well, then in order to make that happen, we have to have these goals. You want to take that class? You want to study that? Let's do it. But let's have a plan, short, middle, long-term goals. That was the seed that was planted for you. So the year that's going to be moving forward with you will have all of these amazing, unexpected opportunities that will kind of like just fall into your lap. That being said, let me get rid of this and let's talk about where we're going to go with the new moon. All right, Mars here. Mars is the ruler of this energy that was seated on your birthday. So Mars on, this will be from the 14th to the 17th. So we're moving into it this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yeah, Saturday through Tuesday. And so Mars is looking at this, and Mars first runs into Mercury retrograde. This is in your 8th house. This is the house of birth, death, rebirth, transformation, healing. Where am I connected on a psychological, spiritual, emotional, physical, financial connection with other people? Where is your time, your effort, your energy invested into other people? This could be family members. This could be a life partner. This could be like looking at alimony, debt, child support, your resources of where is that tied up. It also has you looking at healing, control, power dynamics. Who has the power, who does not? Where do you feel out of control? Where do you feel at a loss? How do I reclaim that? How do I take that back? Think of it as there's this bandage on your leg and you didn't shave your legs and you got to rip off that bandage. And the good thing comes from, you're going to not have any hair there. There comes healing that comes from it. And so you are diving into those topics. Mercury's first going to run into Mercury retrograde. That's going to have you reliving and going back over some of these topics. And the goal of that is the North Node. In order for me to do this, I have to work from a space of not having fear. I have to be the one in control over this. I'm going to look at who I'm invested into. Who do I trust? Who has power? Who has the control? Where is my money invested? Where is my time invested? With who? My resources, healing, sex, debts. The North Node says, this is my direction and this is how I want to feel. This is where I want to connect with people. Having your new moon that will happen on the 18th, a new moon in your sign. So then you're going to move forward and say, now I'm ready. I have learned from the 14th through the 17th about looking back at the last 6 months of my life and saying, these are the major things that have happened. And so now these are my new moon intentions. These are the seeds that I want to plant, that I am in control of my destiny, my money, my resources. I'm not afraid to broach those topics. I'm not afraid to look at my investments. I would say that gently, because even though you might be afraid, it's you having to be the one to initiate those conversations. Mars is the warrior within you. You cannot wait for somebody else to bring it up. If you have your money invested somewhere, or if you have money that is owed to you, you're going to have to be the one who looks at your personal investments. And this is time, effort, energy, money, resources, like all of it, and saying, I'm going to be in control of this, and this is going to be a good thing. And what is going to be here will manifest and grow, and what is not will float away or drift away. Mars will look at that and say, I can initiate that. I can cut, I can sever, I can remove any of these things that are not for my best and highest good. The North Node is think of it as the balloon that there's too much dead weight here, and I want to cut my losses, and I'm going to be getting rid of, and it's okay. People, places, and things are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. When the lesson is learned, we move on. We don't need to learn it anymore. This being said, you have this new moon in a harmonious aspect with something that is finishing with your job, your career, your reputation, your legacy, your responsibilities. The 10th house is the highest point of your chart, and there's something that's going on with you and having these responsibilities, the legacy, it's authority figures, you being the authority figure. What you're starting now, it has to do with power dynamics, and it has to do with control. And so take that into consideration, because Uranus pretty soon is going to be moving into Gemini, where it's going to stay for the next 8 years. And when it does there, it will bring you into contact with many people in order to reach your goal. I absolutely love this. And then what's going to happen later on, oh fudge, hold on, is when Jupiter goes into your first house. This is you having your voice heard, the lion allowed to roar, and knowing that the eclipses have shifted into you in partnership. Like, let's just throw that in there. I am excited about this time period for you, and knowing that the Saturn Neptune happened on your birthday, that is this, I don't want to say crazy energy, but it's definitely this amazing energy of quick, fast, propel movement, and you will not always see it coming until it's literally right in front of you. This will be a year where a lot of things will happen, and you will be exposed to these experiences, or have these opportunities for cross-cultural connections to broaden your horizons to religion, spirituality, thoughts, ideas, reading, studying, publishing, travel. And I'm excited for you. All right, Becca Boom, my friend, I heart you. All right, my next friend in the queue. Thank you for waiting. Kelly. Thank you for being here. All right. Does that make sense? Yeah, make sure. 056. Okay, hold on. Time. Great, you're with England. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for pausing and for crying out loud. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I got it. Okay. When is the best time for me to get creative with music and or writing? Please and thank you. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. Let's take a little look at you. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. All right, Kelly. So your wheel, your chart is the one on the inside. And Cancer rising, you're ruled by the moon. So every time the moon makes a easy or hard aspect, you feel it like within your body, within your soul. Like your daily moods change every 2 to 3 days, because the moon goes into a new sign every 2 to 3 days. Knowing that, it's how do you flow with it. People with this Cancerian energy, they usually are very in tune to dreams, intuition, psychic ability, the feelings of. I absolutely love this because you have Jupiter in your first house of identity. it has been retrograde for the past, I think it's like several months here. And so now that it's going to be moving forward, it's I am now ready to manifest, grow, and to plant these seeds. All right. I want to take you back to February. You had Saturn and Neptune at the top of your chart. On February 20th, there was this conjunction merging at 0 degrees. It squares your first house of who you are, which means it's not something has to shift, something has to change. Aries energy is I have to initiate, I have to go after. Neptune is my dreams. Saturn says, let's have some limitations, or let's have some goals. Let's have the goal in sight, and let's have short, middle, and long-term goals in order to get there. That being said, you're going to have a new moon that's going to be coming up, and it's going to be on the 18th. What's going to lead up to it? Because, again, you're ruled by the moon. It's in a harmonious aspect. It's water to water. You are ruled by water, except for Mercury is retrograde in a water sign. So this has you going back and rethinking, reviewing, revising. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Having Mercury retrograde in your 9th house is classes and workshops and things that you have done. I want to publish. I want to teach it. I want to share it. I know you said, when am I going to be ready to launch? When am I going to be ready to create? This energy is going back and looking at what works are almost done. What do I need to go back and like fine tune and tweak? When Mercury is retrograde, it's not a matter of starting something new. It's a matter of I have to go back because the things that I've done, they're of quality, but they're not finished. So I would go back to those things and I would finish them. I would look to launch something closer to March 20th, anywhere between March 20th and June, the middle of June. Now, I would set my intentions on the 18th. March 18th, you're going to have this beautiful watery new moon of what are your hopes, what are your dreams, what are your goals. The 9th house is your connection to a broader, so think about YouTube or Instagram, or think about cross-cultural experiences of how do you connect to people that are farther away. The 9th house is publishing. And so I, Kelly, want to publish something. I want to create something. Mars is here. Mars rules over what is going on here. What started in February. Mars is saying, I have to look back. The North Node is my belief system, my dreams, my focus of. Mercury is saying, I have work. It's just not finished. I need to fine tune it. I need to tweak it. And so Mercury will give you this opportunity to take whatever you have and readjust it. When you have this new moon is working in harmony with Uranus. Uranus is in your 11th house of your dreams, your goals, your hopes, your wishes, your people, your connections, your collaborations. This is think outside the box. Who can help me share this information and get it out there? Uranus is electric in the sign of Taurus. Taurus rules money. It rules our resources. How can I take what I want and get it out to the masses? I need to not do this the traditional way. Plant those seeds, make this happen, because the next new moon on the next new moon of April, that will be in your 10th house of this is what I want for my career, my job, my reputation, and that will be a huge stellium of major energy there. So you are in the build-up stage of making this happen. All the things are here for you to do this. And okay, I'm going to add one more thing in. Uranus is sitting on top of Jupiter. Jupiter is at 29 degrees. This is an anaretic degree that we call it like a final exam lifetime, that you've already done this. You've already done it. It's not like you're having to learn. This is, I am pulling from the past and these qualities that I have in order to complete, in order to finish, and to bring abundance to the future. And so Uranus is saying you have multiple times, multiple lifetimes. Now, let's pull it all together and let's get creative with what does this look like to share it to the masses. And so, Kelly, I hope that this answers your question, and know that the eclipses are going to be, as a matter of fact, the eclipses have already started with this last one that we had a couple weeks ago in your second house of money and your eighth house of shared resources. So you are going to be spending the next year and a half identifying what is mine and who do I invest in, or who do I trust to invest my resources into. Trust, control, all those power dynamics. And Leo is the sign of 9 lives. Like let's do this again and again and again. All right, Kelly, thank you for trusting me, and I appreciate you being here. I hope all this makes sense. All righty. All right, thanks. Hey, Georgia, thank you for being here. Oh, I see. Hold on. I appreciate you trusting me with your consultation or your reading. Let me make sure I get this. Oh, Denver, Colorado. I love that area. Okay, let me make sure I have this right. Oh, okay, I got it. All right, I think I have all of this. All right, oh great, I love when I have free reign. And I'm gonna check the queue just to make sure that everything makes sense. Okay. And Kelly, the book I'm writing is all about my childhood. Absolutely. Girlfriend, make that happen. Make it happen. Having the eclipses in your second and your eighth house is trust, control, power dynamics, sharing, vulnerability, healing, and money, resources, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and asking for it. And so I know it's going to happen. I'm excited for you. All right, so let's talk Georgia. All right, Georgia, let's see here. You, my friend. Oh, you're having a Mars return. I absolutely love this. Jake, come get this computer. Sorry, I already have 2 or 3 things in front of me. I can't have any more. All right, free reign. Let's just talk about a Mars return. Mars rules over your 5th house, and the 5th house is fun and children and joy and lovers and your own inner child. It's the house of art, beauty, music, creativity, expression, and it's in a harmonious aspect with who you are. It's like what lights you up inside. And if we go back to February, there was a seed that was planted with Neptune and Saturn sitting on top of your Venus. This could have been starting a side gig. This could be with, oh, I really enjoy this, or I enjoyed this when I was a child, or what is the adult version of what does this look like, or this makes me feel like a child again. Neptune is what we dream. It's religion or spirituality or hope and faith and belief. And Saturn says, how do I put my dreams into a reality? How do I manifest them? How do I grow them? Saturn has the rings around it. So it's like I have to have limitations and boundaries, and I have to have these stepping stones in order to get there. I cannot just do blind faith. Let's make this happen. So we know that something was seeded in February. Then Mars, you're having a Mars return. This is in your 4th house of your home, your family, your foundation. Does this mean you're moving? Does this mean like what is going on within your home situation? Mars cycles are 2-year cycles of starting something, seeding something, and then over the next 2 years, there will be blessings and transitions that you have to navigate. So we know that you're starting something that has to do with your family life or your living situation or people within your home, parents, or anybody that would be, or I would also say traditions, or like think genealogy, anything that has to do with those familial traditions or responsibilities. This being said, let's take a look at Mars. And from the 14th through the 17th, Mars is going to first cross over with Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury is going to be stationed retrograde in water signs 3 times this year. So, whatever themes are happening now, you will see a continuation of those themes. It will take what's seeded now and then it will continue it the next 2 times in order to say, yeah, this is great, start something new, but we can only take it so far, and then we have to go back and we have to fine tune and tweak it. I look at Mercury retrograde as a time to stop, slow down, pause in order for me to readjust so that I'm in a healthy position to move forward again. It's like you have too many things going on, and Mercury retrograde says, let's slow down, let's clean this up, let's get organized so we can go again. And so we know that Mars wants to initiate, cut, sever, remove, and move forward with. Mercury is saying, what happened like over the last year and especially the last 6 months? Let's go back, rethink, review, reevaluate. Does this mean remodeling something at home? Does this mean looking back at traditions that were ready to carry on or pass down? Or what do you have of your own that you're trying to give to others? Or it has to do with those themes. The North Node is, I need to be focused on these things. I need to be focused on, what does my foundation look like? What does my physical family life or my physical home? This could also have to do with land and property. Knowing that you're starting something that will be a 2-year cycle. Now, after that Mercury retrograde on the new moon, so I'm going to circle a couple of other things, and hopefully this does not convolute it and you're going to be able to follow along with me. On the 18th of March, you're going to have this new moon. This is when you say, okay, I have gone back, I've reviewed. I like to use astrology as a guide to say, this is when you should tune in, this is when you should pay attention, and it gives you the themes of what you should be paying attention to so you can work with the energy and flow with it. And so this is you saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is my new moon intentions. This is the first time that you've been able to do anything for the last several months because we've had eclipses. This is the one that we actually say, I set my intentions. This is where I want to live. This is what I want for my home. This is what the remodel should look like. It will be one of those themes. Mars is looking at it and saying, you want that? What are we going to get rid of? Are we going to downsize? Are we going to cut? Are we going to sever? Are we going to remove? What do you want? I can make that happen for you. Like, this is literally you saying, in order to do this, I have to make it happen and I'm responsible for it. Mercury in the North Node is, and I have to go back and I have to say, what is of value? What is of worth? Mercury is contracts and negotiations, and the North Node is our life path. It's our direction. All of this is in this new moon is working in conjunction. It's at 28 degrees with Uranus in your 6th house. This represents your daily habits, your health sector, your well-being, your day-to-day habits, your alternative healthcare healing modalities. It's mind, body, spirit. It's how do I nurture and care for myself, but also how can I be of service to other people? This is saying, in order for me to have the freedom that I want, what does this look like? Now, I'm going to add like one more thing in here. You now have Jupiter will be moving direct. Jupiter is in your 8th house of your investments. That's people, places, and things. And this could be some of the people, places, and things that you've invested in. You will be able to recoup, cash in, or receive abundance from. This will be for the next 4 months until when Jupiter moves into Leo. That'll be June 30th. Now, when that happens, it's like girlfriend is ready to travel and study and learn or explore new people, places, and things. Jupiter wants to open up new avenues for you. So, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you, Georgia. Thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting me. I love your chart. Having that Capricorn moon and having your Taurus sun in a harmonious aspect, that makes you very earthy and grounded. And now the difficult part of being that grounded is sometimes it's hard for change, and Uranus can say, yeah, I'm going to make you uncomfortable until you do change. And so I'm hoping that you're able to flow with the themes of the universe. All right, let me see who is next in the queue. Hi, Ty. How are you? Okay, hold on here. Let me pull this up. I appreciate you waiting, Ty. Not quite sure how long you have been here, but appreciate you. What? Oh, hold on. Yeah. Okay, I can't talk and do, not during Mercury retrograde. I can't do two things at one time. Although, mother, 1974. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about all these sevens. Do you know, I don't know if you understand about numbers and synchronicity and what an amazing magic number that is. And so you've got all of these doubles in your chart, which is, like angel numbers. Not quite sure if you're into that, but I look at it and love it. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay. I feel like I've lost. Oh, yeah. I love my job. Well, it was that too. Just wondering about my. Okay, let's talk about your relationships and partnerships, Ty. Thank you. Okay. Let me, hold on. And let me look at the chat for just a hot second. Hey, Kelly. Okay, I can't wait for that. And Nitro. Perfect. It really does make sense. Yeah, lots of, yeah, Earth. Smile more. I am good at cooking. I love that. Oh. Okay. You are good at cooking. I love that. Okay. Having Taurus in your 10th house. Yeah, Taurus is home and family and nurturing and caring and okay, let's talk about you, Ty. So first off, thank you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for being here. And let me start off by, I want to go back to February because the overarching theme starts right here. And okay, you're a Leo sun, but you're also a Leo rising. And you also have Mars here at 29 degrees. So let's just talk about 29 degrees. 29 is considered an anaretic degree. It means that if you believe in past lives, you've done this before. You just have to get it right in this lifetime, that you've done multiple things that have to do with your voice being heard, being seen, working from a space of I have to be the one to do this. I have to be the leader. And 29 is the anaretic degree of I can do it. I got this. I'm gonna make this happen. Now, what happened is on February 20th we had Saturn and Neptune in a conjunction at 0 degrees in a harmonious aspect. I color code these charts so red goes with red. It means it's in a trine. So your sun is who you are. Your first house is your identity, your business card, your website. Go back and say what happened around February 20th and in the days that followed. There was a seed that was planted that has to do with learning, studying, publishing, teaching, diving into broadening your horizons, these cross-cultural experiences. It has to do with anything that religion, spirituality, of expansion of. Now, this could be foreign people, places, and things coming into your life or you working with them. The 9th house is also the house of not just publishing, but like think about it as the internet, the broader range of. Now, with that, that was in a harmonious aspect to who you are. I need this. I have to explore this. I have to see this. I have to do this. I need more from my life than what I have right now. And it's not about finances, it's about a spiritual connection, a deep within yourself. Because that was happening, okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. I want to move forward to right now. Now, Jupiter in your 8th house, this is natally. Jupiter in your 8th house is, the 8th house is, who do I invest in? Who do I trust? This represents family members growing up. This represents business partners and significant others. It means money and finances of like your investments. It means like alimony, child support, debt. It also means sex. It also means taboo topics. It means secrets. And it represents those themes that we want to have these close connections with people. And how do we get this? How do we, because okay, I can see by your chart that you want, you need, you desire these. And how do you find them? You have a moon in Scorpio. This is the deepest, the most intense, the most spiritual, the watery. This is know it, dream it, see it, feel it, like vibrations, want it, touch it. I love Scorpio energy, and you have your moon in the sign of Scorpio. And this is, I can be easily hurt. And I learn my lessons through my interactions with other people of trust or being wounded by their actions or inactions. That being said, it's in a harmonious aspect with Jupiter in your 8th house. When you find the right people and the right connections, you're able to heal and you're able to grow. And when you do not, it's how do I not become jaded or hurt by those investments with people, those connections with people. Now, Mars is, Mars rules over cutting, severing, removing. Mars is here. Now, on the 14th through the 17th, Mars is going to come in contact first with Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde. Mercury rules over your money, your resources, and Mercury also rules over your 11th house of your connections, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. Now, Mercury's going to retrograde 3 times in a water sign this year. And so the themes that are started now will continue with you the next 2 times that Mercury stations retrograde. And so Mercury in your 8th house is, I have to be the one to talk about my feelings. I have to be the one to heal from this. This is about power and control and codependency and dependency. And are they dependent on you? Is this like, where is your money, your time, your effort invested with other people? And how do I trust? How do I get into these connections? How do I become vulnerable without being hurt and burned out? Mars is going to first come into contact with Mercury and then the North Node. The North Node says, what is this? Through counseling? Is it through psychology? Is it through studying? Is it through looking at myself in a mirror and saying, what are these traits? What are these traits that I am vulnerable to, and how can I use it? Because these are your gifts and talents also. When somebody looks at themselves in the mirror and they look at the reflection of, they say, I don't like this. Well, turn it into an asset of what can you do with it? Because if we can identify what we're uncomfortable with, we can turn it into a way to move forward. And so Mars says, I can cut and I can sever and I can remove this. I can be the one to, is this therapy? Is this counseling? Is this connection with other people? The 8th house is what we do in private. And so these can be personal, private, secretive connections. Not bad, secretive. So knowing this, you're also going to be having a new moon. Now, the new moon is going to happen on March 18th in the sign of water, not in an easy access to your first house of your identity. New moons are times to plant seeds, fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. So you're going to go through this integration period or this reflection period of, what do I own? Who am I connected? What am I afraid of? Who has the power? Who has the control? Me growing up, like, we're talking about deep work, like the oh my freaking god, I'm sorry, I'm in a place that has gnats and bugs. I'm so sorry, Ty. The eighth house. The eighth house is what we fear. And how do I overcome the fear? How do I heal from this? How do I it's the house of birth, death, and the transformation and the healing and overcoming things. We know that you're in this period of the last 6 months of reflection and saying, I feel like I'm here, I feel like I'm alone, I feel like I'm in this space, and what do I do next? Well, the new moon that will be on the 18th is I'm going to plant my new moon intentions of, I want connection. I want deep soul connection. What does that look like? How do I make that connection? Who do I invest in? How do I invest in these people? How do I get them to, how do I let my guard down? Well, this is in a harmonious aspect with your 10th house. This could be a job, a career, reputation, a legacy, responsibility. We know that something is changing for the highest point of your chart, your career, your daily, your job, the 10th house brings in themes of authority figures over you, but you also being an authority figure. Uranus here has been shaking up this area of your life for the last several years. And so this is one of its last hurrahs before it moves on. And Uranus says, look, set this intention for, how do you want to be known? How do you want to be seen? What do you want for your career? What do you want for your job? What do you want for your legacy? What do you want for your personal, the 10th house is, what do I want to achieve? And how can I achieve that? And what does that look like? And that comes with healing from within. I want to add to this in that Jupiter's going to be moving direct, and Jupiter is currently, it's literally going to be going back over top of your Mercury. Because you have this stellium, I'm going to back this up. You have a stellium, 3 more planets in your 12th house. This makes you this is a lot of water that makes you very intuitive, most likely psychic. You feel other people's energy, receive downloads, dreams, messages. Why doesn't everybody else feel it? Why doesn't everybody else understand it? You were born with it. It just naturally comes to you. Jupiter's going to be moving direct. It starts today, and you will feel over the next 4 months this opportunity to reconnect with your intuition, to reconnect with anything that has to do with receiving those downloads, those messages through ancestors, guides. And I absolutely love this, knowing that the water is connecting to water that has to do with your home also. I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Okay, I'm going to check the chat. Hold on. Let's see. I've been reflecting since 2022. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, feeling alone. Oh boy, I hope my job doesn't change. Oh, yeah, well, okay. Okay. I know that you've been there for 17 years, but I want you to know that there's going to be some things that are going to be happening. It's going to be happening in April. Okay, so just a little heads up. Uranus is a wild card. Uranus right here, it's the maverick of the zodiac. Uranus has shaken up this area of your life and has said, look, you have remained stagnant. You cannot be here forever. Now Uranus can offer you a leg up with your job. What's going to happen is Venus is going to move from here over to your 10th house. When Venus moves into your 10th house, this will take what you're doing. Venus rules, it rules Taurus. Taurus is food and money and resources and pleasure. It's sensual. It's the connection of. And when Venus moves into this area, it will expand what you are doing. When Venus comes into a conjunction with Uranus, it will be at 29 degrees, the final exam, like transit. What's crazy about this is the things that are seated on that day. Venus and Uranus coming together is, I can do this. This is the next step. This is the next where I want to go. And then the very next day, Venus is going to move into Gemini, and it's you connecting with other people that can help you to get to where you want to be. And then when Uranus goes into Gemini, it takes it and it runs with it like wildfire, because Uranus is air, it's electric, and when it goes into Gemini, it says it's a connection that is quick and it's fast. And so whatever's going on, we know that change is going to happen, and it's about moving you forward. Not all change is bad. So I know you're like, okay, I don't want to leave my job. It may not be leaving your job. It may be shifting it into a new position within it, or taking you to the next level that has to do with your job. I'm hoping all of this makes sense. I'm hoping all of this. And yeah, very vivid dreams. I wish I could explain that to other people, because like I do too. Like I bet you could, you love your job. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you're where you want to be, and it's not being too old. Maybe this is you leading something that has to do with your job. When Uranus moves into Gemini, Gemini is connection to thoughts, ideas, and it's your dreams, your goals. And so take what you're doing when the Venus is conjunct with Uranus with your job and say, how can I take this job to the next level? It's not always about endings. Uranus is the maverick that says, you wanted this, but this is better. It's like saying, I'm ordering a cherry pie, and then they don't have any, and then they bring you the chef special, which is a chocolate cake with some other stuff on it, and you get it and you're like, well, this is even better. Well, thank you, universe. That's what this transit's about. This is not about taking away. This is about offering more. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm hoping all this makes sense. So thank you, Ty. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you hugs, my friend.
Last one.
Okay. Oh, wait. What is their name? Okay, hold on. Vinay. I love that. Okay. November 8th. Thank you for waiting. Okay, I got this. And there's, hold on. And you, what is standing out for the months of March, April, May? Okay, I can go as far as March and April. Let's talk. Okay. Oh, crud. I didn't take it off the screen and you saw everything. So sorry. I was trying to be professional. All right. I'm hoping I'm saying your name correct. Vinay. So, Vinay, Saggy rising. Oh, you have Uranus at 0. I love that. You're going to be having your Uranus opposition here real soon. So, let me see. What else do I want to talk about? All right. I got it. I can see it. All right. I want to start with this, because this is probably the most important thing. Go back to February. So we can't move forward until we understand like what was seeded, because you have Uranus. Uranus is, remember, it's the maverick, it's shock, surprise, it is electric, it's the lightning bolt in your first house of who you are, your identity. Sagittarius energy is bigger, brighter, better. It's like the more the merrier. It's bigger than, and that is who you are. Because this happened at 0 degrees on February 20th, this is the fifth house of children, creativity, your own inner child, lovers, giving birth to something, birthing a project, birthing something that had to do with diving into art, music, beauty, creative projects, starting something new. And so this happened, and it's in a harmonious aspect, and this is shocking and surprise. This could have been a shock, a surprise baby, or, okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal baby, but like something that you want to create, or your own inner child. But this can definitely bring a child, just throwing that out there. Unexpected, didn't see it coming, or a dream. Neptune is here as this is what I'm dreaming of, and Saturn is let's find a goal, let's make this happen. This could be a creative project that's a side gig that turns into something that's bigger. That being said, when we move forward to this week, you're going to have Mars. Now, Mars rules over everything that's happening here. And Mars says, I want to make this happen, but first we have to like look back at some things. Mars, from the 14th to the 17th, so we know that's this Saturday to Tuesday. You are looking at themes that have to do with security and home and foundation and your living situation. Your fourth house has to do with themes of your upbringing, traditions. The North Node is, this is the direction in which I should be focused, and we know that this theme has been going on for the last year for you. This could have meant a move or a leaving of a job, a shift, because the nodes are in your career sector and your home sector. When one thing happened, it was like one thing caused something else to happen, and so that could have been a move, and it could have been also a shift with job, responsibility, career. So having Mercury retrograde, Mars is looking at it and saying, all right, let's look back at our past, because Mercury rules over partnerships. Mercury also rules over your job, your career, your reputation, your legacy. When Mercury stations retrograde 3 times a year, for you, notice the themes of what happens now, because you will have a continuation of those themes 2 more times this year, but in different houses. So Mars is saying, what do I have to cut? What do I have to sever? What do I have to make happen? I have to initiate this. The North Node is, this is it. This is my direction. Mercury is saying, but wait, pause. Look before we sign those contracts. Mercury is short distance travel, contracts, negotiations, and it's, I have to look back at and renegotiate before I move forward. That being said, it's the very next day, starting a new moon intention. This is what I want. These are my dreams. These are my goals. This is what I want for a solid foundation. Having a new moon here, this is the first one that you will be able to set intentions for, since we've had these eclipses the past few months. It's been hard. The eclipses have really pushed us, removed things, and moved us forward in ways that have stretched us. And so this new moon is like saying, I need to sink in here. I want security. I want safety. I need this, and this makes me feel good. And Mars is right in the middle saying, well, if you want all of this, this is what we have to do. What else? Like, it's standing in between the decisions that need to be made and the goals that you are setting. Now, the moon is in a harmonious aspect with Uranus, the sun and the moon. They're both at 28 degrees. And so we look at this and we say, oh, the 6th house has to do with your day-to-day habits, the balance between home and career, your mind, your body, your spirit, taking care of yourself. Like, this is a lot of work. The 6th house has to do with your finding a mentor, finding a guide. It has to do with self-care, alternative healthcare, healing practices and modalities. And it's saying, I need this for me. I have to make these changes for me. Now, what's going to happen So let's talk about this. What you're moving into is, and this will happen when Uranus moves into Gemini. What is that? Hold on, let me give you the exact date on that. That's going to happen in April, I believe, because it's going to be big. It's going to be on the 25th. Holy mackerel. You are going to be having a Uranus opposition. A Uranus opposition, we like to think of it as, it has a bad reputation as being like a midlife crisis. I don't look at it in a negative way with a midlife crisis. I look at it as, I'm at the midpoint of my life where I have enough life experience that I can look back and say, this is all of the things that I've experienced, and this is where I want to go. Uranus is going to be moving into your partnership sector. This is going to be bringing you abundance of, for the next 8 years, of a diverse amount of connections to people. The 7th house is personal, professional, and collaborative connections with people. So you can look at it and say, where have I been? Do these people resonate with me? That means best friends, significant others. That also means clients. Maybe they no longer need your service. Maybe you no longer need their services. This is also contracts and negotiations. It's significant others. These people will come into your life, and as quickly as they come in, some will quickly leave. People are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And when this happens, this is like this aha, I get it moment where you will look at it as a reflection of and say, oh, I get it. And I'm going to be leaving this behind because this is the direction. You only live once in this lifetime, and I need to make it worth it. And I'm going to be me, my real authentic self me. That's a Uranus opposition. And so I hope, Vinay, that all of this makes sense to you. I'm going to check the queue and make sure that, let's see. Yep, stabilizing a house hack. Oh, rental where I live in one of the rooms. Oh, looking for a new job too. Okay, so for the new job, you have 6 more months that this can happen, and most likely will happen. This will happen now between now and the next eclipse that will happen between August 12th and August 28th. Independent contractor. I rent rooms in my home or lease contracts. I do have goals in the future. All resonate. I am so glad that all of this resonated with you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I am so glad that all of this information resonated. I appreciate everybody trusting me. For more, you can, I do have my 2026 year ahead guides. It's not too late. They're half off. You can get those, or my eclipse guides. Those are also half off. And for more, you can join me over on Patreon. I would love to stay connected with all of you. Thank you for sharing, trusting, hyping all my videos, and being part of my tribe. And it is because of you that I'm able to do what I love to do every single day. So thank you. I heart you. All right. Bye, guys.